Howdy. By now, you pretty much know I'm not a typical YouTuber. I'm older than most of the people who do videos on here. I have no kids, so I'm not even a grandfather. I'm a great uncle. I've got, some kids who I get to play with from time to time, but I have no kids. So, no idea what it's like being a father. I'll never know what it's like being a grandparent. And I guess I'm good with that. But I'm older and I can bring a different perspective to different things like this. For instance, I'm also kind of young at heart. I will be one of the first people who sees Infinity Wars when it comes out on the 26th. At 7 o'clock, I will be there with my friend Scott. We bought the tickets 2.5 months ago, so we're covered. I like things like that, but I have to acknowledge being a little older, my legs hurt, my knees hurt. I sometimes don't recall the names of actors and actresses and musicians from back in the day. Disco people, I always remember. But anyone who did anything else, sometimes it takes me like 4 or 5 minutes to remember who those people are. And I'll sit there and I've got the face in my head, and sometimes it just doesn't come. But because of smartphones and because of technology, I will usually remember what I saw them in, and I can always look that up. And, some of you know my mother lives with me. My mother's 80 years old. She's got memory issues. She's got dementia. Doesn't have Alzheimer's. We don't think. Actually, I don't think it's going to end up being Alzheimer's. Turns out you never know if someone has Alzheimer's until they pass away and they do an autopsy. But based on my thought as to why my mother probably has dementia, I don't think it's going to end up being Alzheimer's. This is just my personal opinion. Anyway, it's been a weird week dealing with Mom. She's declining here and there. Luckily, it's slowly, but every once in a while, we butt heads. And the thing is that, for the most part, I let it roll off. I just kind of plow through and get things done. But every once in a while, I kind of get a little upset when she's in a mood. The thing is, she's in a mood for maybe 10 minutes and it's gone, and I will stay in that mood for 2 or 3 hours. And I know logically that she's just going to be in that mood. She's going to get over it. But every once in a while, you know what? It's a hard thing to deal with. But I'm always trying to tell myself, you know what, self? You're going to be older one day. I mean, you're older now, but you're even going to be older than that if you're lucky to live that long. And I'm probably going to have close to the kind of memory issues she has. I don't think I'm going to be quite that bad, but you never know. You can do things to try to be healthier in life. For instance, most of my parents, my dad, my mother, they never walked. I walk anywhere between 6 and 10 miles every single day. That's just my goal. I hit my 5 miles, and then I just like to add whatever I can. So I walk. I exercise. Believe it or not, I do watch what I eat. I've basically lost 45 pounds over a 4.5-year period. Over the past, I guess you say 3 or 4 months, I actually lost 6 pounds and got to the goal weight I set 3 years ago when I first got on MyFitnessPal. That was stunning because I didn't do anything special to get there. But I recognize that my eating patterns have changed. I still love desserts, but I modify it. I don't need the biggest dessert. I can have something small. I try to eat healthy, but I can only eat so healthy. I can't eat a lot of vegetables like most people can because I have a problem with potassium, of all things. I have high potassium, so I can't eat a lot of green vegetables. I love salmon. Can't eat a lot of salmon. I still eat a lot of potatoes, which I'm not supposed to do, but I eat that. I don't like bananas. There's a lot of other things that have potassium in it, but I don't consume all that stuff because I have high potassium, and the only way you can bring that down is to not eat potassium. Still, I do eat a few other things here and there. I eat smaller portions of the food. I measure stuff. I have a scale. And when I go out, for the most part, I'm able to look things up and make estimates. I've learned how to do that using MyFitnessPal. I put everything in there and I program it. And if I have one day where I'm kind of over, I'm not worried about it. As a matter of fact, because of how much I walk, Fitbit basically calculates some calories that you're burning off, adds it into MyFitnessPal. I don't know how they work it, but I have yet to have one of those days where I end up in the minus. Now, I try to stay under what MyFitnessPal says I should have for calories, but you know, every once in a while, you can't control it. If you go out to a party somewhere, sometimes you just can't control it. So there's that. I also do different memory games. I still work crossword puzzles. I've learned in the Sudoku, I don't know how you say that word, but I've gotten okay at that. It depends on what I'm playing it on, whether I'm really good or whether I stink. But I have finished some of the hard puzzles. So I do that. I still do a lot of reading. Obviously, I write a lot. So in other words, I'm challenging my brain. These are things that my parents never did. I don't know how many of you do those things. I have not watched a quote-unquote series TV show since Burn Notice ended in 2013. So there you go. I don't watch as many sports events as I used to watch. Unless my team is in it, I'm probably not watching it. Unless it's the Super Bowl, and I'm watching that mainly for the commercials, then the game. Unless Dallas Cowboys end up back in the Super Bowl, then I'm watching it for the Cowboys. I'm just saying that. So, you know, I look at these things and I say, you know, yes, I'm going to get older. I'm going to have some issues, hopefully based on some of the things I'm doing, which I have read and researched, and they have said that by doing some of these things, you should be better. But I'm going to get there. And because of that, I try to honor older people. I try to get an understanding when I recognize that maybe they're having memory issues or they're having issues with movement, because I'm going to be there. Sometimes I am there. When I can't recall a certain word or a certain person, I start to worry, okay, you know what? This is just bad. I've always had a good memory, except for names. Never been able to remember names, which is a personality flaw of mine. But I've always been able to remember numbers and faces and details of other details about people's lives, even if I can't remember their names. Isn't that a shame? But I'm here to tell you, we're all going to get older. Think about it. If you're a young person watching this, you're going to get older. If you're someone closer to my age, you already know that we're getting older. But we don't have to get worse. We don't have to fear. Of course, I'm planning on living forever. So if there's an evil scientist out there with a pill and you need someone to test it, give me a call. That's all this is. You know what? It's a Sunday, and I wanted to put something out like this because I've been thinking about it after the week that I've kind of had with my mother. And this is just how things go. Someone with dementia. The week before, it was an almost perfect week. I don't know how that happens. Almost perfect. But it just goes up and down. Anyway, my name is Mitch Mitchell. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have some comments. I hope you've had a wonderful day.